Okay, so she said use too fast. Of course she was gonna get damaged. Anyways, we got a couple of pieces. We got the knuckle here. So right and left is different. So we got a part number here. So you're gonna get this in a package. So this is what you're looking at. Right and left, they might look same, but if you pay attention to this little notch right here, there's a small little notch right here. This one has a notch there. So pay attention to that, and it is gonna come with these little steel balls, cups. We might look into that, putting those in, and we got a kit, part number. It's gonna have all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, and I only pull out 2 because the top one looks fine. So a couple of tools we got here. What we're gonna do is we are gonna first get rid of this steering rod, so we can maneuver this baby around the way you want. So you do have to hold it from the bottom, something that might fit or might not fit. It is gonna have thread lock. Mine is loose because I took a hit and it must have just got loose, but make sure you put a thread lock on that. Let me just keep this together so I don't lose it. And that goes there. We'll take that little metal piece off later, but this thing, just when it took an impact, boom, that's what happened. And the whole threading is gone. You still can put it back together, should be no issue, but I like my stuff to be perfect. This cup, yeah, I'm gonna change it. So what we're gonna do next is, the harder part is gonna be reheating this up. So you know what, let's see what fits in here. So this fits really good in here. I might have to get a 17mm wrench for this. Okay, so one got a 17mm, and we're gonna give it a try, but I doubt it. It's gonna come loose. And nope, I told you, I doubt that was gonna happen. So we use fire. I heat the crap out of it. Okay, so this metal hex here is like a sleeve on top of so we're gonna be reusing this. It's not a big of a damage. We have no issues there. And do inspect it for bends and twists. That looks pretty good. It's gonna get hot. It's gonna get nice and hot in there. Yep. Let's try to get it in there. Trust me, there's no other way. This is the way. You even gotta heat up this one so it can release off the metal sleeve in there. So it's like a sleeve, 17 hex on top of a sleeve. So it's like a little mechanism. Let's give it a try now. Let's see. There you go. And this thing is hot, so let me just leave this alone. This grub screw is what came out of there. So this sleeve, like I said, you do have a small little rod up on the top that needs to be pushed out. Sometimes you have to tap it. So you see how that came out pretty good. It came out pretty smooth. So this is a little... Okay, let me just twist it. It's hot on this side, so let me twist this side. So this is a little pin you have to get out. Inspect that too for bends if you crashed. Now we need to get this cup. Okay, this cup came off pretty easy. I guess I must have worked on it before. It doesn't have too much of a thread lock on it. So I do have a tissue here. So I want to wipe this down right now. Good idea to inspect your bearings as well. And so pretty much this is looking pretty good. It wasn't that complicated like I thought it would be. And what we're gonna do next is, I do need to get a tool for this. I forgot about that. But in here we're gonna go straight. We do need to remove, your alignment's gonna go all off. So once you take all this apart, you do need to reline everything. So here's the steering complete knuckle right here. So let's pull out this axle. Axle has a small little rods inside, so make sure you don't drop those. Very, very good time to take our tissue, wipe this thing down as clean as possible, put it through some type of cleaner, get all the rocks, dirt, and debris out of there. Mine's the speed runs. It really doesn't, because I did bash it, but after that I did have to go complete services, baby. So now what we do now is we're gonna take this little guy. So what I like to do is take these cups, clean them off as we go along. No lubrication, no nothing is required on these. So let's drop this baby in. Remember this little cup? This cup looks like pretty good condition, so we're not gonna bother replacing this. So if you do want to put a small dart of lube, it's all up to you, but like I said, speed runs, you don't need too much of a movement. This is perfect. So where's our new piece here? This is our new piece. So this little rubber seal goes on it. The reason why this goes there is because dirt, all that stuff, the good stuff stays out of there. So what I want to do is I want to take some of my Liberty oil, and I like to put a small little drop on top of this seal, and just roll your finger all around so the seal can just go in there nice and firmly. So I do need to get the correct tool for this little guy. Remember, it's a bigger size, so let me go get a tool. So I went and matched up a tool, so make sure you catch the threads nice and evenly. And I want to tell you one thing, you cannot just jam this thing in there and your steering servo is going to cry to make turns. So what I like to do is, watch this. So right now it's nice and stiff, and what I like to do is go back a bit. Okay, still stiff. Go back a quarter of a, 1/8 of a turn. That's pretty good. And a little bit more. That's better. And what I'm gonna do a little bit more, so I am able to just move this thing just with the tip of a finger. Little bit more. Okay, and I think that's fair enough right there. It stops wherever I want it to stop, but at the same time, I am able to turn. Okay, so make sure you check all. Okay, you can't just have two perfect the way you want, and the other two are just crazy. Anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off this metal plate of this little guy. Oh, wrong size. And 2 screws. You do want to inspect this also, okay? A lot of times, something that you unexpected that is not damaged, it could be bent, okay? It can affect your steering. So after this, just put it on the floor. It should be nice and flush. And I'm gonna clean this up. So just put it on a flat surface. The whole thing should look straight to you. So this guy is gonna go on this side. Remember, there's a little notch here, okay? You can use this, but it's gonna be turning. It's not gonna. Like I said, on the other side, you might have to file that off. Or I don't know how that's gonna work out, but this is flush from here. So I'm gonna take 1, 2. So we do need. This is gonna create threads for itself. It does nothing. Where did that go? One of my bolts just fell off. There it is. Okay, and it needs to go flush in there. There you go. Perfect. You don't want to go crazy either. You don't want to damage. You don't want to strip the hole, and then it's no good to you. Anyways, furthermore, we want to take this side off. So let's turn this baby off, and this should be perfectly good in here. There you go. So what we want to do is let's get this oil cup out and this cup, and clean this up. Let's put this in there perfectly and easily. Let's clean this up. Okay, and let's put this baby in, and we're gonna put this cup. It does have a little bit of lube on it, so you're fine there for us to go in there. So make sure you catch the threads. Make sure you catch the threads, and after this we can go fast again. Okay, so need to catch the threads nice and straight. Nice and straight. Okay, that didn't work out. Okay, so that doesn't feel right. But it looks straight. Okay, that doesn't feel right to me. So, going back out. Okay, so it does have threads in there, so you're gonna have to work some magic here. So let's give it another attempt. Let's start off right here because I feel like the threading is right there. That's where it begins. Yep. So I'm gonna get this baby all the way in. I might have to turn it because it's a little stiff. So what I'll do is I'll grab it with this little guy and I'll turn. So like I said, these pieces create thread for themselves, but if it looks crooked to you, okay, no, it looks straight to me. Okay, there you go. And really stiff, but it went in straight. So what I want to do is I want to lock it up. Okay, there you guys locked up. See how hard that is? So we want to even this one out with the other one. So let's go back a tiny bit. Feel it, tiny bit, feel it. Tiny bit and feel it. Feels about the same. Tiny bit. There you go. It feels good to me. Solid. Perfectly and solid. So that's done. So let's take a look at this little guy. And we're going to clean up this axle. This is good. This is good. We do need to pull up the bearings here. So what I like to do here is I like to tap on these bearings softly and gently. If you have something that's going to fit flush in there. And look at that. That's how easy they come out. Just tap them. And they should come out. You have to tap them equally. You don't want to damage them. Look how dirty that bearing was. But these bearings are still good. I just keep putting lube on it. They do pick up dirt. That's fine. And these are good bearings. These bearings don't go bad that easy, guys. I'm going to tell you guys that a million times. These bearings does not go bad that easy. Took a hard hit. Put that bearing, a little bit of lube in there. It's going to be perfectly like new. So this baby goes in there just like that. And that goes in just like that. Perfect. Look at that. That goes in, and then let's take a look at this bearing. I already cleaned this one up earlier, but the inside I didn't get hands on. So we got hands on both sides now. So that baby's clean. So it does need to go flush all the way in. No tools are required here. Nothing crazy. Look at that. The front end of this Typhon is perfect. So that's in. Now, what I like to do now is Liberty oil. That's what I'm using, Liberty oil. So good stuff. I like to put a little bit of lube on my bearings. Okay. Every time you do a speed run, you do need to put a tiny bit amount of it. So another thing I like to do here is I like to make sure this pin sits properly. You see how mine's moved? This little pin, it needs to be flush so it could go inside the bearing. So it can spin on the bearing, that's fine. And a little bit of lube there, and let's push this baby back in there. Okay, so this is gonna go back in there to the hub, and it's gonna come out from the other end. So if your pin is not proper in there, it's not gonna let it slide in. So this thing needs to slide in next. And remember that original pin we took off? That pin goes in. Make sure you line the holes, and that pin will go in. And if it doesn't go in, you have to tap it a bit. There you go. And at the end, I have to go get red, nothing but red thread lock. Nothing but red. The reason? Simply, you don't want shits coming loose on high speed. There you go. This baby is gonna be locked in. So what this is gonna do is this little grub screw, it's gonna hold that little pin that was in there. Even if it come out, as long as you have your wheel on it, it's not gonna release itself. So what we're gonna do here is, I am gonna put my electric drill. Should be doing it by hand, but electric drill will be fine. We do need to put this 17mm in there. Okay, one thing I want to tell you guys is make sure your little pin is flush and put the wrench on where the pin is, so it's just like a wheel sitting on a 17mm wheel. That way, if it's coming in and out, your wheels might not fit on it properly. But lock this baby up. There you go. Nice and good. Once it dries up, it ain't going nowhere. Anyways, after all, we got this baby in working order. So now you need to put the axle in there, and once the axle is in there, we're gonna put these babies in. So what I like to do here is, as we go along, I like to put one first. Let's put one in first. And then the other one, I want to line it. And line, make sure you line your axle, because you don't want to damage anything as it goes in. So pretty much my axle is going right into the cup. Oh, there you go. And again, like I said, the alignment on everything is going to be off. We'll figure that out at the end. So I will be tuning the suspension on this baby, because the whole alignment is going to be off. But there you go. We got a perfectly fit working front end of this. So my little lug nuts, I don't know where I put them, but lug nuts, you should be able to fit your lug nuts. If you got threaded, damaged, you do have a small scrape, which is not a big deal, but there it is, perfect. And the only thing we got left behind is this little guy. So with this little guy, what I like to do here is same thing, little bit amount of thread lock. Let's push this baby right through here, and it seems like my thread lock got scraped off, so a little bit on top of it. And then we take this little guy and we catch the threads. And then what I like to do is, okay, this is not the tool, this is the tool. So remember, this thing got to be locked in place, okay? So we are going to have to hold this from the bottom. Hold this from the bottom. Even though this is going to try to turn. So what I'll do is, instead of going to get more tools, I'll hold it with this little guy. And I give it a small little snug. Come on. Let's get it in there first. Okay, there you go. It's in, and then what I'll do is, that's it. We're done. Now we're officially done with this part. This is repaired and fixed. Okay, that movement is no issue. To stiffen that up, you might have to look more into the control arm end, but nothing is damaged there. But this is normal, so both sides are small little plate. But that's, thank you for watching. That's all I'm gonna say, and stay tuned for more videos. We got some spare parts from my bashers. This is still good. Other than that, we're all set to go, and we're gonna be repairing the back end right here. The back shock completely lost its piece, and then we'll work on the motor mount, and the last one will be a diff cup. Diff cup took a hit too, so we do have other diff cups, and we'll do that down the road. Thank you for watching this video.